How to turn your small business marketing from blah 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 into awesome. Do you want to create iconic marketing campaigns that may go viral, boost your company's commercial prospects, and establish it once and for all in the minds of consumers? If yes, then check out our quick guide to understand the key elements you need in order to revive your marketing campaign. Learn how your company can draw attention in today's data-driven world, drive a purchase, and shift people's attention and impression off your brand. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? I'm doing fantastic. I hope you are doing marvelous. If you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about how to turn your business marketing from blah, blah, blah into awesome. Now, this is a quick guide and we're going to go step by step. First step, clearly define your target audience. Now, a lot of small business owners will draft a marketing campaign where they're not really sure about the target audience. You need to be clear about who your target audience is. You have to be able to visualize that person. You need to determine the profile. Is it a young man or woman in their 20s, or who works on Wall Street, who works in California, who works in rural areas, who lives in Chicago? You gotta really, who is married, who is single, who is in a relationship. All of those demographical factors are important. The closer you can get to defining your target audience, the better, because your brain will start working and realize, oh, I need to really tailor my message to this particular audience. Now, how do you define your target? First, you need to ask yourself, what is the purpose of your product or service? Which problem is your product or service trying to solve? What is the pain point you're trying to fix? Number one. Number two, you need to find who your product or service will help. Basically, the thing here is that, as I said earlier, you need to define your persona. You need to define your ideal customer or client. When it comes to that, there are no predefined rules. It's up to you. You can go as detailed as you want, or you can go as, broad as you want. But at a minimum, you want to have what? You want to have the age, the gender, as I said earlier, the profession of the person, the geolocation, the financial situation of the person, of the ideal customer or client, the family status, the interest. Now, you can use online tools that will help you define and zero in on the target audience. But once you've clearly defined your audience, the last question you need to ask yourself is, will these people pay for your product or service? And this is a critical question, because if the answer is no, then you need to go back to the drawing board and revise your offer or your target. Number two, after clearly defining your target audience, you want to set your goals. Now, you must figure out what your expectations are for this marketing campaign. You need to be clear about that. What do you want to accomplish? What is the purpose of the marketing campaign? Do you want to generate leads, close new customers, re-engage existing one, increase your visibility, boost sales of a particular product or service, drive more traffic to your blog or website or social media page? You need to set realistic and tangible goals for your marketing campaign before you even begin. Now, and that's not really complicated. Once you define your target audience and you're able to set your goals, you should be able to go to something called KPI. That's the key performance indicators. So you want to link KPIs to your goals. Now, in the industry, the successful small business owners, even business owners in general, not just the small ones. I mean, businesses in general, the most successful ones, they use a very powerful tool called SMART. It's actually an acronym it's a shortcut for a SMART goal. A is a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goal. So you want to use that paradigm, that model, to define your goal. Number three, you need to set a budget. You need to define your budget, because if you want to reach your goal, if you want to meet the goals, you need to put the cash behind that, right? You're going to know how much you're ready to invest in your marketing efforts. Now, you want to think in advance about all the costs you'll need to include. I'm talking about the actual creation of the campaign, the internal resources you're going to need, the external resources you're going to need, the timing, the promotion. We'll talk about the promotion later, but you have to think about those things and create a budget. Okay, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still having a conversation today about how to turn your small business marketing from blah, 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 a lethargic communication strategy, into an awesome one. All right. Now, I've told you in the first section about three things you need to do: defining your target audience, setting your goals, and defining your budget. Now, let's talk about three more. But before I do that, if you love the clarity and the quality of the content you're hearing so far, please go ahead and smash that like button, comment below, share, and also subscribe if you haven't already done so. We are constantly trying to expand our community, and we drop new shows every single day, rain or shine. So subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Number 4, the fourth step: create targeted content. Think about it. Now, once you have your target audience and your goals in mind, you can start creating your campaign. Of course, those two, target audience and goals, must fit within the budget you have defined for your campaign. And now it's time to start working. You got to go and really start creating the campaign. You want to constantly come up with original campaign ideas. Now, this is not easy. Remember, though, you can always outsource. If you don't have the resources internally, if you yourself lack imagination or have no knack for creativity, you can always outsource. You can also do some intel, gather some competitive intel, figure out what the competitors are doing great, figure out the performing campaigns of your popular competitors. This will give you a clear idea of what your audience may like. Now, I'm not saying here of plagiarism. I'm not advocating plagiarism. I'm not asking you to copy a rival's work. What I'm trying to say here is that you use it as a start. Let's just use it as an inspirational content or material or a piece of material, right? So you look at it, think about how it fits within the industry, and try to adapt something from it to your own situation, to your own campaign. You want to make your campaign better by adding your own creativity layer, your own voice, your own value proposition, your own brand, your own wonderfulness, if this word even exists. Right? So this is number 4. Number 5, interact with your audience. If you want to transform your small business marketing from blah, blah, blah into awesome, you need to interact with your audience. You need to engage with them. Right? You want to make your audience want to participate in your campaign. You can add something like a special prize, preferably something related to your business. You can actually attract more participants. You can also invest in visuals like, pictures, infographics, videos, all those goodies that make your campaigns more catchy, right? Your campaign more captivating. So this is pretty wonderful. A lot of multinationals, even smaller businesses, have used gamification to attract the audience and interact with the audience. So gamification means that you are adopting the principles of gaming into your marketing strategy. So consumers and prospective customers, they just thinking they're playing, whereas that you are generating leads and prospects for future that will convert into future sales, right? So remember, everyone likes to play. So the key here is to offer moments of fun and interactions to your audience, all right? So you can use things like a jackpot, a memory game, a quiz, anything playful will do great. Number 6, offer something valuable. It's pretty cool. We talk about playing. Everybody wants to play, right? It's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, you want to offer something of value. We are in a world where competition is rising by the day. And we like to say that even if you live in somewhere in Nebraska or Alaska, in a village in Alaska, you're having competition from Nigeria or Brazil or China or Vietnam or Somalia, for that matter. What I'm trying to say is here, we live in a globalized world, and you have to constantly innovate. You have to offer something valuable, something that your target audience really, really, really wants and needs. Now think about it. If you have defined your goals and your target audience properly, finding that valuable thing, that valuable element to give to your audience will be very easy, right? Because you will have an ideal visual of your clients. Let's say your ideal client is a 21-year-old female, right? So for that female, you're not offering her a bike or a motorbike or a car. You would want to offer her something that will closely aligns to what the majority of 21-year-old females, women, would want. Similarly, if your target audience is, or your ideal customer is a 45-year-old man, you're not offering that guy something that would appeal to a female audience. What I'm trying to say here is that you can offering something valuable and finding what that thing can be is easier than most people think. It's easier once you have identified your target audience and you have defined your budget and you have set your goals properly. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation today around how to turn your small business marketing from blah, blah, blah into something awesome. Step number seven, you want to boost your chances of going viral. Now, we've seen in the research that a lot of companies want to seek virality, especially the big ones. But honestly, you don't have to draft a campaign to seek virality if you do it right. You just have to leave everything in the hands of the universe. If you're lucky, and believe me, the more portable, the more wonderful, the more excellent content you keep producing, one day your day will come. Your opportunity to shine will come, and one of your videos will go viral. So what you want to do is you want to increase your odds of going viral, and you can make your campaign easy to share, right? Because if your campaign is not typically designed to be shared, you're limiting its potential. So there are a lot of ideas you can have. You can share your campaign on social media channels, on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn. You want to encourage participants to share your campaign on their social media profiles, right? You can reward them with an additional chance to win, that kind of stuff. Participants need to be able to easily share your campaign with their friends and invite them to participate. And one thing you want to do is to trigger a constant, I would say, deluge of chats and conversations around your campaign. Let your audience comment. Let them take pictures. Let them shoot videos. Let them vote. Number 8, distribute and promote your campaign. Now, this is very important. You have a wonderful campaign, but nobody knows about it. Unless you are a big budget company like Coca-Cola or IBM or Google or Microsoft. You probably don't have the budget, but you have to. Your brand is not established yet, but you need to promote the campaign. You need to distribute it, and there are gazillion ways of promoting your campaign. You can share it on social media. You can send an email to your subscribers notifying them of your campaign, or include an image that promotes your campaign in your newsletter. You can publish a press release. You can advertise, right? You can advertise on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can do promoted tweets. You can do radio ads. You can do newspaper ads. You can even update your Facebook cover or profile picture, your Instagram bio, with a link to your campaign. There are several ways to distribute and promote your campaign. The next step is to measure your ROI. Once you've done everything, you have concocted a wonderful campaign. You have distributed the message to your audience. You have shared it on social media. You have encouraged people to share the content. It's time to measure your ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. So basically what you're doing is you are seeing that, okay, I'll spend $1,000 on this campaign. How much have I gotten in return? Have I closed new sales? Have I acquired new customers or new clients? Right? Because you have to think about the cost of acquisition, the cost of client acquisition. You have to factor that into the ROI calculation, right? And you can use a tool for that. If you don't have to do this yourself. Either you have a tool. There are tons of tools out on the internet that allow you to measure your marketing ROI or your campaign ROI. You can ask yourself several questions using those tools. How many new subscribers did you get? How many leads came through your campaign? Did your call to action fulfill its objective? And all you do is, if you use the right tool, you are able to collect, analyze, and consider the results of all this data. And this will help you make a decision about future campaigns. You're also able to adjust your campaign's budget and creative elements and create more relevant marketing campaigns in the future. Now, remember though, that again, you can hire someone to get the whole job done for you, or you can do it yourself by using software, appropriate software. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are in the last section of today's show, and if you love the clarity and the quality of the content so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We really appreciate that. And also comment, like this content, share, and do everything else you want to do with the content. So let's quickly get back to business here. How to turn your small business marketing to blah blah blah, from blah 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 into awesome. I have 3 more tips for you. Number 10, harness the power of testimonials. This is something that a lot of small and mid-sized businesses do not harness enough. A testimonial from a real person. I'm not talking about something you put on the website. No. You want a video of someone talking and saying, hey, listen, I've used this product, I've used this service, it's fantastic. So customer testimonials are your way of letting your clients do the talking for you. A third-party recommendation or positive statement about your business has a much bigger clout than merely stating the same information yourself, right? Because people are always thinking there is a risk. If I'm doing business with this company, chances are I might be disappointed. So what's the risk of me being disappointed? That risk will go down if I can hear from someone else how great your company is. So you want to harness the power of testimonials in your campaign, in your marketing campaign. Number 11, you want to map out your timeline. Now, if you have a long or short campaign, doesn't matter. You need to have a timeline, because you want to know whether the campaign will last for 30 days or 3 months or 1 year. But you need to start somewhere and end somewhere. And by having that, by being able to have a campaign timeline, you're able to be flexible. You're able to read the minds and souls of clients. You are able to see how seasonality affects your marketing campaign. And most important, you're able to also gauge the effect of your campaign on your clients, but also on your competitors. So think of the timeline as a roadmap that will lead you from point A to point Z, right? You want to be able to track the money and time invested in each of your marketing milestones. That's important. Number 12, you want to keep it going. If you want to have excellent, impeccable marketing, you need to keep it going. What I'm trying to say here is that after the campaign comes to an end, you can't just let things die. You got to have constant follow-ups. And you can do this very smartly through emails, through newsletters, or through social media activities, through social media posts, right? So it's very important because you have established now a relationship with new prospects. So you want to start nurturing those leads. So you have to maybe track the channels through which they came to you. You want to send them relevant information. You want to share more about your business, and you need to constantly collect data to better know your users and develop personalized content. All right. So this is it, folks. Thanks for listening. I will see you next time. But before I go, let me do a quick recap of today's conversation. I've given you 12 steps to turn your small business marketing from blah, blah, blah into awesome. Number 1, clearly define your target audience. 2, set your goals. Define your budget. Create targeted content. 5, interact with your audience. 6, offer something valuable. 7, boost your odds of going viral. 8, distribute and promote your campaign. 9, measure your ROI. 10, harness the power of testimonials. 11, map out your timeline. And 12, keep it going. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.